What's up, YeshGamers? Robert the Bruce here, and originally all of this footage was going to be used for a video on how to use the Huot automatic. Huot? Yeah, whatever. This gun. But I've decided instead that it would be way more exciting to talk about perks. And let's face it, the Huot, I'm gonna stick with Huot. It is pretty straightforward. It's not the most powerful thing ever, but it shoots like a laser. Done! That was easy. Now on to Specializations. Now Specializations, or perks, have been in tons of other Battlefield titles, and I'm pretty stoked to see them getting here in Battlefield 1 as well. Now if you're not familiar with them, it's basically a little bonus you get to choose to customize your kit a little more and complement your play style. I'm going to run through the list relatively quickly with my thoughts on each. There are some generic specializations that can be applied to any kit, so let's start with those. Now first there's flak. It reduces incoming explosions by 15%. And I think this is going to save a lot of people from those random luck grenades, crossbow launchers, etc. It's not a flashy perk you'll think about until something detonates near you and you realize you're still alive. The cover perk reduces incoming suppression by 25%. Meh. If I've got someone in my sights, it doesn't really matter if they're shooting back at me. And if a shot hits close out of nowhere, I'm probably going to retreat and take stock of the situation anyway. This one doesn't excite me too much. Quick Regen is a perk that decreases the time you have to be out of combat before healing starts, and it decreases that time by 20%. This one isn't bad. It's not going to win Sexiest Perk of the Year award or anything, but you know, it's okay. It'll probably come into play a decent amount in just about every round you play. Quick Unspot decreases the time you are spotted by 2 seconds. I don't really see this being a game changer in most situations, so I'll pass. Bayonet Training makes bayonet charges last 1 second longer and you recover 1 second quicker. I feel like this is also an edge case. It's not going to be that often where, oh, 1 more second would have made the difference on that bayonet charge. So I'm going to vote to stay away from this one too. Hasty Retreat increases your sprint speed by 10% while suppressed. This is like when someone realizes they're really close to a hornet's nest and you're thinking, wow, I didn't know they could move that fast. I mean, honestly, I'm not that excited about Hasty Retreat because, again, it's very situational. Camouflage is the next one, and it's going to be a problem unless they change how it works. They've announced that it means you'll be invisible to spot flares while stationary or slow moving. DICE! Why do you love campers? Ugh. This will make clearing out an objective that much harder. I've seen a lot of good ideas on Reddit for ways to improve this, like, you know, maybe you're only invisible to spot flares while you yourself are maybe barely moving, etc. I hope DICE considers those options. Otherwise, this will basically encourage every camper everywhere to stay put for the rest of eternity. That being said, if it doesn't change, it's pretty darn powerful, so it may not be bad to use it yourself. I mean, you gotta level the playing field, am I right? Now let's move on to the class-specific perks. There are 2 for each class, and we'll start with Assault. First is Juggernaut, which reduces explosive damage by 15% when the gas mask is on. And DICE has also said it will stack. So if you have this in the flak perk, you're going to end up with a lot of explosion damage reduction. Say that 183 times fast. The other Assault perk is Controlled Demolition, which lets you detonate TNT sequentially instead of in one big kaboom. Honestly, both of these are like getting some salad at a cookout. It's just not super tempting, but if I'm going to be Assault, I think I would choose Juggernaut. For Medic, the first is Stimulant Syringe, which means when you revive someone, you and that person get a 20% sprint speed boost for 8 seconds. Also note that this does not stack with any other speed boost you may have from the generic perks. Now the other perk is Concealed Rescue, which makes dead squad mates that are 20 meters or less from you automatically drop smoke to cover you while you go revive them. Now, man, I've seen a lot of perks so far in this list that are just kind of a snooze fest, but I'm stoked about these. I love being a medic, and I love Rambo reviving people while I sing "You're Welcome" from Moana, and both of these perks are right up my alley. Now for support, you can choose Unbreakable, which reduces incoming suppression by 75% when your bipod is deployed. And this is pretty legit for someone guarding a point. The other perk is called Pin Down, and it makes an enemy spotted for longer when they are suppressed. That's kind of lame. And lastly, there's the Scout class, which gets a perk called Scapegoat, which automatically drops a decoy if you get hit and your health is below 35%. That's kind of random, I guess, but okay. I guess if you love sniping on ridges far away from the battle and not helping your team, that could be tempting. I don't know. The other Scout perk is called Perimeter Alarm, and it means if someone triggers your trip mine, all enemies within 15 meters of it are spotted. Now, I think that's pretty awesome and probably going to be what I choose when I'm a Scout, because it means you still get an advantage even if they shoot your trip mine before they approach you, and maybe you don't even know that that's happened. So that's pretty cool. Now, these are all currently in the CTE server for PC gamers, and there is word that they're coming to consoles soon as well. And I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. Are these going to be pretty awesome additions, or is this like a really crappy car getting a DVD player, and you're like, bro, you got bigger things to worry about? I'm excited, personally. It'll breathe more life into the game, which is always a good thing. My only concern is I don't want them to introduce perks that are going to really encourage lame play styles from the randoms. But, you know, at the end of the day, dumb people is going to be dumb. So, you know, I'm pretty happy to see these coming. Hit me up below with the perks you're excited about using. And don't forget, if you're on PS4, we've got several YeshGaming platoons open, as well as the YeshGaming PlayStation community, where we organize squads and talk about shenanigans. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.